Let me thank my subscribers for taking keen interest and posting questions. This is for my subscriber who wants to understand how sum and difference formula can be applied to prove these basic identities. So I have a couple of examples here so that we can understand it at length. First two questions here are sine pi by 2 plus theta equals to cos theta and sine pi plus theta equals to sine theta. What we really mean to say is in these two cases we are talking about an angle pi by 2 plus theta, that is to say the terminal arm is right there, and that is the position, right? If this angle is theta, we are saying that sine pi by 2 plus theta is that position, that is pi by 2 plus theta. Then we're trying to relate this position, sine pi by 2 plus theta, and it is same as if theta is your related acute angle, then same as cos theta, right? These are the identities which we are going to use in solving many questions. Basically, we'll be relating to related acute angle in each case, right? Okay. Since we are dealing with sine pi by 2 plus theta or sine pi plus theta, the formula will be sine A plus B, which is sine A cos B plus cos A sine B, correct? So if I expand the first part, which is what is sine pi by 2 plus theta equals to. Now here consider A to be pi by 2 and B as theta and substitute in this particular formula, right? So what we get here is sine pi by 2 cos theta plus cos pi by 2 sine theta, correct? To find the values of sine theta and cos theta, you normally know them, but in case you want to just relate it, I will prefer to use the graph for both these functions. Sine graph is kind of like this and cosine graph is like this. At a position which we are calling pi by 2 in this case, for sine the value is 1, right? This is for sine and this is for cos. And for cos pi by 2 is 0, correct? Substituting these values here, what do you get? Sine pi by 2 is 1, so it is 1 times cos theta plus cos pi by 2 is 0, so you get 0 times sine theta. 0 times anything is 0, so what you really get is cos theta. So that is how you could prove this, correct? You can apply the same formula here, expand, substitute the values, and you can prove that sine pi plus theta is equals to sine theta, right? Pi means we're talking about this value, correct? So if pi by 2 is replaced by pi, the first term will be 0. In the second term, cos pi will be equal to minus 1. And what we are going to get actually is, this is kind of wrong. It should have been minus sine theta. So let me make this correction and let me do it. Okay, sorry for that typing error. Okay, so we are looking into this situation now. I thought I'll give you that question as a practice question. However, there was a typing error. And this angle is pi plus theta. Is that clear? So let me do it in this small space. We are using the same formula, sine A plus B equals to sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. So I could write this as, that is sine pi plus theta. I could write this as equal to sine pi cos theta plus cos pi sine theta, correct? Now in this particular case, sine pi is 0. So the first term is 0. So we have left with 0 times cos theta plus cos pi is -1. So it should be -1 sine theta, right? And what we get here is minus sine theta. So I hope that is absolutely clear. Good, I saw it. Okay, let's move on. So now we have sum and difference formula for cosine. So it is cos pi by 2 plus theta equals to minus sine theta. So the formula which we are going to use now is cos A plus B, which is cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. The two situations are, it's good to see them, visualize, and then it's easier to do, right? Pi by 2 plus theta means we are talking about terminal arm here. Pi plus theta, we're talking about terminal arm here, right? Let's add some more information here. That is the rule. All are positive in first quadrant, only sine in second, tan in third, and cosine in fourth, right? So we write, so this is to know what is positive in which. So here we know that cos is negative, right? So we are expecting negative answer. That is correct. And whenever it is pi by 2, it changes to sine, changes to cos. Cos is a complementary angle. Here also cosine is negative, so we get negative answer. That seems to be correct. We might also use the graph for sine and cosine. So let me draw these two graphs at these two different positions. One I'm sketching for, let's say, cosine first. Okay, this is for cos theta. And for sine theta, it starts with 0, as you know. Okay. Now, let's write down the expansion for each. So here we have cos pi by 2 plus theta. That means I could write this as cos pi by 2 cos theta minus sine pi by 2 sine theta. Now cos pi by 2 is 0, right? And so the first term is 0. So it is 0 times cos theta minus sine pi by 2 is plus 1. So it is 1 times sine theta, and that is equal to minus sine theta. So that is how it is to be done. So you could apply the same method here and try yourself whether cos pi plus theta gives you minus cos theta or not, correct? Okay, let's move on. So this time I have taken up in tan A plus B and tan A minus B will be applied. So the formula is tan A plus B equals to tan A plus tan B over 1 minus tan A tan B, correct? If we have minus here, then the signs change to this. So in the first case, we have tan 2 pi minus theta. This should be equals to tan 2 pi minus tan theta over 1 plus tan 2 pi tan theta, correct? Now what is tan 2 pi? Tan 2 pi is 0, right? So we get 0 minus tan theta over 1 plus 0 times tan theta. And that is equals to minus tan theta, right? Divide by 1, you can say, and then write minus tan theta. So that is how we get this. You can apply the formula A plus B here. So in this case, tan pi plus theta could be written as equals to tan pi plus tan theta divided by 1 minus tan pi tan theta. Perfect. Tan pi is 0 again. So we get 0 plus tan theta over 1 minus 0. which is equals to tan theta. Perfect. So we're done for tan, and now let's take one more example, and this time we are taking 3 pi by 2, right? So let us see how to do. Here's the last identity. Cos 3 pi by 2 plus theta equals to sine theta, and sine 3 pi by 2 plus theta equals to minus cos theta. You can take this as a practice question, pause the video, answer, and then look into my suggestions, right? So what is cos A plus B? Cos A plus B is cos A cos B minus sine A sine B, right? So we could write cos 3 pi by 2 plus theta as equal to cos 3 pi by 2 times cos theta minus sine 3 pi by 2 sine theta, correct? Now to find the values of cos and sine for 3 pi by 2, what you could do is you could just sketch these graphs. It's kind of simpler. So for sine, the graph is sine curve is like this, cos is like this, and when we talk about 3 pi by 2, it is 0, this one is 2 pi, 3 pi by 2 is that position. Is it okay? 3 pi by 2 is this position. So for sine, it is minus 1, and for cos, it is 0. Perfect. So we can replace these values. So cos 3 pi by 2, as you can see, is 0. So we get 0 times cos theta minus sine 3 by 2 is minus 1 times sine theta. And that gives you sine theta, which is the right hand side, right? So you can do the same thing here using the sine formula to get the result, right? So here you will get the left hand side will be equals to sine 3 pi by 2 cos theta plus cos 3 pi by 2 sine theta. Sine 3 pi by 2, you know, is minus 1, so it is minus 1 times cos theta, and that one is 0 times sine theta, and this gives you minus cos theta, correct? So I hope with this you have understood how to apply sum and difference formula to prove these identities. Thanks for watching. Feel free to post your comments, share my videos, and if you like, that'll be great. Thank you, and all the best.